Good evening, everybody. It is March the 10th, 2019. Hello, AOL Chandra. Good to have you here. Good to have Jonathan Cox here. Commander 717. Good to have you here as well. You've got some mighty good pecs in that little icon. Today we're going to go over some amazing cryptocurrency fireworks. Things are lighting up and all those bottom formations we've been watching for so long are actually starting to do something. Now let me cut off this music abruptly. And I want to plug our new contest. I'm calling it the biggest bull market in history cryptocurrency trading contest. And I'm going to grab a link and put it into the chat so that you can join us. It's free to join the contest. And a couple of the biggest prizes starting to do something. And a couple of the biggest prizes are random draws. So even if you're not a top trader, you can be one of the top winners. So head over to altcoinfantasy.com/team/IntroToCryptos and register. There are over $5,000 in Bitcoin and prizes. Now, where's my next? We go on to the live stream, and I'm gonna try this again with the chat box. Try to get this thing working. I don't know why it is so low budge. It didn't do this to me before. Don't know. One last try at it because it's good to have it in there when those questions are asked and that they are included in the video itself. Is awesome. But it is being a real pain. Not coming up. There's our significant trades come up. So that will load itself up there as the significant trades start to roll through. So I am a noob still at this streaming software and it's not working properly the way I want. Let's go just take a quick look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, some good volume right there, and Stellar, just to see where they are. Now we're going to go back through, and the purpose of our show here is to go through all of the cryptocurrencies on Poloniex, and we do a very simple technical analysis review of it based on a very powerful and a well-proven trading plan. But it's very simple, and so I call it the simple trading plan. And if you want, you can go over to the website IntroToCryptos.ca and get a copy of the free chapter so that you get this trading plan in your hand and use it when you're going into the trading contest, because if you don't have this in your hand and everybody else does, you may be at a disadvantage. So be sure to get this free trading plan and the spreadsheet that comes along with it. And so now we're going to go through all those cryptos and we're going to grade them, and we'll update our spreadsheet at the end to see how much more bullish this is than where we are standing right now. So down in the lower section here, whoops, I have the panels that I'll mark, and you can see here is the legend, where yellow is an alert, green it means the market's a hold, like it's a bullish market, blue is to exit that hold, and we haven't had a lot of those, but they should be coming up pretty soon. Orange and red are fails and near fails, and the gray is neutral. So we're looking for the gray to be dropping, green and yellow to be rising, and then we add green and yellow together here to get our green, and orange and red to get our red at the end. And at the end of the show, I'm going to bring up a bullish and bearish divergence study that I did some time ago. I haven't had time to bring up the actual spreadsheet itself, but AOL Chandra brought up one of the screenshots from within the spreadsheet, and this shows the bull and bear markets from the last few years. And so we're going to explain that at the end of the show and give some examples of what's happening now after this is updated, and we'll take a look at that. That's going to be pretty cool. So that'll be at the end of the show after we go through these charts. We shouldn't be should be pretty quick at these charts here today. Let's go through Ardor. You know, it slipped back. I'm going to leave it as an alert, but it didn't break out into a hold. It came right up to the edge where we kept saying for 3 days or something, saying, no, still alert, and it's pulled back. I could call it neutral, but I'll leave it as an alert. It's so close. Basic attention token, we're still on a hold on this one. So what we're watching for now is that cold fish. When do we get out? This is one of the key things about trading that separates good traders from new traders. New traders, including myself, you know, I have new trader mistakes for sure. It's holding on to things when you should be letting go of them. Attachment in life. Bancor network token, 3 lower lows, then it blasted off. So it wasn't something that I could trade out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations. It's got to pull back and give us a whole different thing. But I'm not really trading it out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations. I would have to say this is bullish, right? Right off the bat, it jumped from neutral to bullish. It wouldn't be a trading signal. It's just an indication of bullishness. BCH, ABC, and then SV. So ABC, a little bit higher lows. Still, it's not consolidating into anything that I can say is good. I'll leave it as neutral. SV, I'm going to leave this as neutral too, but it's building up a little bit better. Neutral, neutral. BCN. So this one, I don't expect anything. And not yet, but there is a little bit of volume that I'm watching there as well. Neutral. Bitcoin, of course, is still an alert from where it is there. So if I go back to the 3-month view, it's looking great, actually, with all its on-balance volume going on. Oh, yeah, it's looking really good. Alert and BitShares. BitShares is also looking great. It's looking fantastic. I'll leave it as an alert. It hasn't pulled out of there yet. And I know that up at the top we have Jonathan that you asked about XMR, and it's one of the ones we do go through, so I hope that you don't mind the delay as I blast through these here today. Burst is, I was expecting more. I'll leave it as an alert, but if it fades off a bit from there, it goes to neutral. Clam stays as a hold. Another one that we're watching for the top formation now. When does it turn into a cold fish? When do we take our profits and get out? And so that's still good. Oh, Civic Coin, a beautiful, beautiful chart. You got to step back from it to really even see it. It's so subtle and so slow, but it really is momentous, and it's going to blast up from here. It's a hold already because we were watching it earlier out of these bottom formations, and it's just growing, and it's going to burst. It's going to take off. Here is a different view of this now. We've got this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and then a bull flag where it's pulling down like a slingshot, and it should just launch from there. I'll leave it as neutral for now, but tomorrow it may be an alert. People are still calling for $1,200 Bitcoin. Stop that. I feel like they will miss the bottom big time. I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, let's Send Crypto. If you guys don't know, he has his own channel. Go and check out his videos. He's very prolific and he's putting out some good stuff. And you're saying that some people are saying down to 1,200 and they're going to miss out now because the bottom is in and it's going up. I say the bottom's not in just because people are saying the bottom is in. That's a sure sign that it's not. It's way too soon. They're way too close to this bottom edge to say anything for certain. Nowhere near. But I am still of the mind that we're going to be coming up and testing out something like this when then everybody's going to be saying, you know, the bottom's in for sure. Here we go. It's time to rock and roll. And I've got to... That's when we're going to see something nasty. Maybe deeper. And it's going to come off that and it's going to just blast down, and then it's going to be enormous volume coming back up. It'll be something like this. So if I could do a Photoshop copy, paste, and bring that in here from this level, this sharp down and sharp back up, that's what I'm expecting. So this is one of the reasons that I'm watching for these top formations so much right now, is that this is, I expect that this is coming. And I talk about that more in the Bitcoin trading channel. I can't just flip over there right now. youtube.com/C for channel /Bitcoin trading, where I do a daily short on Bitcoin, and I'll talk more about this pattern on that show. Very important because it's going to rock all of the cryptos. And as we get to the end of the show and we're talking about the chart that AOL Chandra brought up here, then we're going to talk more about the bull and bear switchover of crypto and Bitcoin. Dash, we say is neutral, but it's going to be an alert right away. Like, it's going to turn into an alert and a hold right away out of that when it does go. Decreed, like it was failed 2 days in a row. I'll give it neutral now. It's picked up off there. Digibyte has been a hold for a few days. I just love gloating over this one. So many of these, of course, when you're watching day by day and you have a specific pattern, when you have something that is it's a system, it's a method, it's some very teachable, repeatable package with very simple rules that it always has to happen at the end of a downtrend. It always has to. So when you have that rule and that method, that approach, you can just watch it every day and the signals just pop out. But you got to be there watching and watching and watching. Other than that, you could purchase our alert program, which is really great. It really is powerful stuff. What am I looking at now? Digibyte. Kind of off track there. Just wanting to talk about that because it is something that Digibyte's already taken off, and we've already seen that one day by day come into that signal and then take off, and now we're watching other ones. And this is where I want you to focus your attention, not on the markets that have already taken off, but these markets that are consolidating now that look similar to what those other markets did just before they took off. So this one is still a hold in our details. It's going to be a hold for a while. I think this is on a trend for some time now. Ethereum Classic. Dum dum dum. Okay, actually, didn't we just see a similar pattern like that just now? So this is sort of a springboard entry. We'll have to wait for that to come up a little bit and have our moving averages cross over before it turns into a buy signal. So it's still neutral for now. We'll watch that. Probably will turn into an alert over the next couple days. This is neutral, but will turn into an alert in a second if that ticks up. All right, Factum. Factum surprised me. I'll have to zoom in a little bit. We've got a big candle up and then pulled back and a nice move up. So I do believe this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation is turning around. So it's giving us the chance to put on a position here. If this moving average crosses over, it really lays it in there for us. So I'm going to put this as an alert and take a look at foam. Yeah, foam could be an alert. It could be neutral. It's so close either way. I'll give it alert for this one. Game is now an alert again. Oh yeah, it was yesterday too, or the day before yesterday. Don't think I did it yesterday. Gas has pulled back, but for me this still remains an alert coin. It could be ready to go anytime. And so there are a few different ways you can deal with alert coins. GNT. Here on Coinigy, you can set up the alerts and you will get an auditory note on your computer, and you'll get an email sent to you when it hits the trigger. Then you can come in, sit down and take a look at the chart, decide what are you going to do with that. What's your entry? What's your signals what are you going to do? This is beautiful. What is this? GNT is looking even better. I've liked this for a long time. I like the project, but this bowl shape here, not a good drawing, but a good bowl shape there. Still flat bottom bowl. Really looking good. We have it as an alert. Just wanted to point out the feature that makes it into such an attractive alert. Grin. No smile in there. Ooh, bad one. Hunter coin. All right, so this is an alert now. It's built itself up. You can see that if we call this the number 1, we could call this a 2. These are number 3, and this little consolidation here helps get to the point of the arrow, basically, that allows this to turn into an alert. Now, Kyber Network Token, love it because we watched this one, put it into a hold, and then it just blasted off. What to do with it now? Hold. This is your winners. You hold those. And we'll talk about letting go in them, but this isn't yet. And the strategy, I'll warn you that I'm going over here, I'll highlight 2 different strategies. One is a short-term strategy, take your profit early. And the other is a long-term strategy, like expecting that and being ready for something to make an enormous move that is almost unexpectable. But leave yourself open for that. And by doing that, you risk losing some of the profits you may have in your paper profits. This is great. This is a hold. And we'll follow along with this as it unfolds to see how long does it stay a hold. LPT is not in my charts and it's pulled back a little bit. I love the volume here. This would, like a swing trader would be buying on this pullback because of the trade volume going on here. And the general overall bullishness of the entire crypto market plays a role. All right, so this was a bottom formation. It broke above and gave us a buy signal, and now it's pulled back and tested this. So strength off of that would be yet another buy signal. I'm going to leave it as a hold, but maybe I should put it back as a neutral or an alert. I don't know. I'll leave it there. Litecoin, still a hold, and looks like it's gaining to go higher yet. And I thought we would have a pullback in it yet before it goes on, but not yet. This is starting to go parabolic. So we have this, I already did this line on the way up, then this line, and then that's about the same, and then this line. Each one's getting more and more steep. So the next phase should be like doubling in price or something like that. And be ready to get out on a move like that as one strategy. And then the other strategy is sit. It's probably going to have a long ways to go yet. It's going to do a monstrous move. It'll pull back. It may even pull back to here before on to the next range and way beyond. Crazy chart actually to see that it's going up from here. Zooming in on it and see Bitcoin in the background gaining steam. And this is building. Pretty crazy markets. MadeSafe coin. I'm a MadeSafe coin nut, which means I'm losing money on it because I'm holding it. It's going down, which means you're a nut. And the reason it's going down in this last little bit is some things to do with the fundamentals. The project moved back a big launch weekend, a launch conference from May back to September to ensure that some technology is in place. So everybody's sort of waiting now, taking that money and putting someplace else. Some other market's going to be taking off, and this project isn't ready yet. So the market's probably not going to be taking off right away. And then over in the chat here, I'm seeing Gabriel Brooks says, in BTC's potential drop, will alts still stay above their bottom formations? That's a good question, and it may be partly answered when we get done our spreadsheet here and we get into the bull bear market patterns from the past. We'll see. And I'll try to. Hey, L7 Square, good to have you here. I'm glad everything looks good. Will alts stay above their bottom formations? We'll talk about what I think alts are going to do and why I think it. So MadeSafe coin, sadly, I'm going to put it right to a fail. It really got hammered. Mana is a hold still. This is really good. It really made a nice formation. Really did. But you had to be watching because it came down, almost made it, and it came down. Then it made this little thing and bang, off it went. It gave us our second chance to get in, and now it's building up. I'm keen to see what goes on in that. Navcoin, look at this. It's taking off out of this triangle of eternity. Wow, this really took a long time. And it just kept teasing out, and finally we've got it. So Nav goes to a hold. Namecoin, one of the great comic coins here. I'm going to leave it marked as a hold here, and we'll see what it does tomorrow because I have no idea. NMR, we were talking about this as it consolidated. This is a fake breakdown that would have, it's difficult for me to trade something that has such little chart history, but as it broke above these levels, that's a buy because it's up to, it's passing historical highs is always a buy. Always. NXT. 1, 2, 3 bottom, downtrend line break, not ready for us yet. Don't know if it'll do anything, but we'll keep watching. It's making near the formation. OMG is really nice. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and a little tiny 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. Those nesting 1, 2, 3s are wonderful. And we have a number of them nesting here. So this is really great to me. When you can see a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here, broke out, and then it turned into a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Now we have a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. When they nest like that, it's more and more powerful. Really great. So that's definitely an alert and probably will be a hold tomorrow. Omni is a hold. Yes, indeed. It broke out of this wicked little triangle and it's given us a chance to get in on like a pulled back. Said, here, get on. Pascal. Whoops. Pascal. All right, Pascal, you're giving us lots of time, giving us lots of warning. It's got, you could be accumulating this stuff and just casually buying a little bit every day to build up your stash of it in advance of the oncoming move. I'll still leave it as an alert, and I think it's going to be big when it goes. Poly has got some really interesting new volume. It's making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. That is looking good. I would make that an alert if I had it in my chart, and I keep saying every day I'll do it. PPC. Oh, so this is now a springboard entry where it's made this consolidation here at these old lows. Looking good. Yep, it would be an alert for sure. Quantum is an alert. Quantum, that's your signal. There we go. And it is. It's really consolidating nicely. I like. Breaks above there are definitely bullish. So alert right now. And it's great to see how these trades line up, that you can see them lining up so long in advance. So this one turns into a hold now because we're just giving the bullishness index with this. But we can see this bullishness coming in a long ways away. This was an alert, but I'm going to put it neutral right now. Could be one of our cold fish coming up. We're on the 12-hour bar. When this moving average crosses over and it drops below these levels, it's definitely a cold fish. Let's see, Siacoin. Now, Siacoin in the past has sort of followed along with Bitcoin pretty closely, but here it's diverged where it's down below and Bitcoin is gaining strength. So I think this is going to rubber band and snap back up here. I'm going to give it a neutral in our ratings. SNT. Okay, this is looking good now. We had changed our signal to say that anything breaking out of that little consolidation would be a go for us. And so it is. Steam, as you may recall, Steam is one of the top 3 that we said will be the top 3 performers in March when we were doing our top 3. Let me go over to this one here and take a look, because it was, didn't grab the date of it. Oy, oy, oy. But there's our top 3, and via Steam and Factum were what we said were going to be the top 3. They're not going to be the top 4 today's list that we're going over. But what this is, oh, wow. Glad we nailed this one, because that's not something I would want to chase after now. It's gotten up too far that I couldn't do anything with this now. Even if I thought it was going to keep going up, I wouldn't be able to buy into it now. It's not the right chart formation for buying. This isn't the right chart formation for taking a trade. You don't want to be taking a trade on a formation like this. I could keep going on, and I may be wrong. You know, you may be able to buy in and it keeps going higher, but regardless, I wouldn't be buying in on a formation like this because it's already made too much of a move. I want to look for those that are at these bottoms here for my own trading. So if I've already gotten into this, we're doing good, and we'll just hold it. And as the market unfolds, there'll be a day where the prices go up, they come back and consolidate, and it comes to a point where I say, now I can add on. Now I have a foothold in this market. Now I can take a trade with a known risk parameter. This is the key, is the known risk parameter. If I'm getting into a trade here like this, it's just too volatile. The risk is too great. It doesn't give me a nice narrow point to reduce my risk down to. Storage. Oh, it's another one that I just think is fantastic. And it actually came down to a really good add-on point right here. You can see how it blasted, came back to consolidate, and gave us this add-on point, and up it's going. I'll just hold on to what I've got. Lumens, stellar lumens. Let's clear this off, and we can see that it broke out of our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So we said it was an alert, and indeed now it is a hold. It has broken out with some authority, moving from 23 to 2,500 there. There's my lullaby. Oh, so this was, I love it. That's so great to have these things that we're marking out as alerts, and then they turn into holds. That's the progression. Watch them day by day. Watch that trade pattern build up. See that it, this is another one that's just so beautiful. Like, really. It's beautiful because of this support and resistance line all the way back through history. Really fantastic. It's beautiful because we have this straight down trend line that is coming down to, if I zoom in on this now and zoom in on this, it's not nice, but we have a little consolidation and then the breakup. And you might be able to call this a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and then it's broken above it right here. Maybe. You know, you've got the 3 higher lows. There's the 1, 2, 3 bouncing around in there, and then it's broken out above it. Maybe. It fits into the chart. So, Stratus is an alert. Syscoin we had as an alert. It'll stay as an alert. It's not quite ready yet. It's got to burst above those levels. Viacoin has been an alert for as long as I've been doing charts, it seems. It could be an alert. It could be a hold. It's right on the edge. It just hasn't broken hard yet, but I'll leave it alert. This is an interesting chart, how it's got this pump up and then a ring down, up and then down, up and then down. Like that's almost like decorations, but it's still a hold for what we are doing here. Counterparty, X counterparty, and still looking not so good. I'll leave it as a fail. XEM, how about you? What are you doing? All right, so you've pulled yourself up a little bit. You gave us a little shot and pulled back. So now I'll make it an alert, because you should be on alert now that it's been bottoming and making these big candles up. It's going to be going. And then XMR for Jonathan Cox. This is a market that I think is going to be going very far. Looking at the 1 year view, first of all, we can see how important this support and resistance level is all the way back through time. Through these levels back here, these levels, you know, pretty close. This stop level, this consolidation. And so everything about this now is turning into a 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3 bottom formation. Hit off the number 2 point twice. So pressure above this, if it starts to pressure into this, would be coming up close to giving us our buy signal according to this simple trading plan. And so we would be waiting for it to give us pressure and coming up around these levels. As it crossed, we could call that the buy signal, or we could wait for the prices to come back and retest these levels, and then we would buy on strength. So we could buy here or here. Either one of those circles would be a buy order if the market bursts up that way. However, gotta also pay attention to both sides of the street when you're crossing the road. Every 6th grade school crossing guard will tell you this. Look both ways before you cross the street. And this will be the same thing, where it would be a sell order here or a sell order here. If it comes down and then retests this level and shows weakness, those are sell orders. These are both legitimate things to pay attention to out of this formation that we have set up here for XMR. I think it's going higher, and I was thinking it was going lower. Pretty poo-hoo about the privacy coins, but I think I'm wrong, and I think they're going to be going higher. Though Zcash is not helping us out. Next. So XMR, I'll leave it as a neutral. It's in between too much. It's not up or down enough either way to give us. So I have to go back to neutral on that. XBM. Wow. It's an alert. And it could take off. Ripple. Ripple is near fail. Ripple US dollar looks a lot better than Ripple Bitcoin. ZEC is still, I guess it's near fail now. It's made a bottom and pulled up a little bit. ZRX. Wow, look at that. It's up. It's only neutral. It's just too fast of a 1, 2, 3 bottom here. It's 9 days. That's not bad. What am I looking at? 12 hour. 4 hour. Yes, this is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation on the 4 hour bars. So I don't trade it as often, but it is sometimes a legit trading signal right there. That 1, 2, 3 bottom, the moving average crossed over, prices went up. If I go to the 3-month view, then this is the number 1 point. This is the number 2. I'm expecting it to come back a little bit before it takes off and goes higher. So neutral, it's up to neutral anyway. Now for one of the highlights that I just look forward to this. This is the data dump right here. So we get to see, oh, first of all, yes, that's right. Okay, let's see. This will update our charts for us. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, we got more greens. Yellow stayed the same. Neutral came up a little bit. Oranges went down. Red went down. So look at our bull index here now to the top of our chart, and bears went down more. That's good. And I was expecting that. I was wanting to see that. Commander 717, you're asking about Monero. That's don't back. We go XMR. So it's looking fantastic. It's neutral right now. It could be an alert anytime, but it could go high or it could go low. All right, now let's get back to our spreadsheet. And we're looking for 7. So we're going to write down Ardor. Well, BTC, but it doesn't count for this. BTS. Burst. Because these are alerts in the spreadsheet. Here down below, you can see the yellow colors are the alerts. So we've got, get the right place here, FCT, foam, game, gas, GNT, HUC, LBC, oh my, OMG, PASC, PPC, QTUM, wow, Strat, Sys, and Via, XEM, XPM, wow, XEM, XPM. So I'm going to highlight some that I like best. I'm going to delete some that I like the least. How's that? Let's get rid of XPM. Via, Sys, Strat, Quantum, PPC I'll get rid of. Pascal, OMG, library credit, Hunter coin dies, gas, game, sorry, foam, you're too, I don't know you enough, Factum, burst, BTS, ardor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, wow, I gotta cut out half of them. All right then. Sorry, sis. You bite the big one. Quantum, probably as well. Library credits, I just don't have the long-term. Don't think so. Ardor, I don't know why, but no, you don't get it. Burst, no. Probably not BTS. OMG, Strat, Via. This is a real pump and dump one. Real fast mover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm having a hard time. I'm biased because I own so much BTS. Gas, it's tied to Neo, so might be a mistake there. I've got it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gotta get rid of one more. Okay, Via I thought was a pump and dump. I'll leave it at these as those 7 that we wanted. And these are our new list of 7. I don't know if they overlap the old list. Basic attention token, BTS is on both lists. Clam we had earlier, and Clam really did take off, so that was great. Don't have Digibyte, we had. Factum made it. Okay, Factum made it to all those things. Gollum network token, did you make it? Yes, indeed. That's could be my bias. Kyber network token, it did really well, but it didn't make it to our top 3 list. Siacoin didn't make it. Steam it's already moved up too high, so it's not on the list. Storage, wow, XLM and STR didn't make it. Via got kicked out, and it was one of the top ones last time, and I kicked it out. VTC, very cool. All right, now to finish things off with a really good review here, I'm going to bring up Bitcoin, and I'm going to bring up BitShares in the charts. So let's go over here. We've got Bitcoin. I'll talk about that in the show tomorrow. Auto, Bitcoin, and BitShares. 5-year view. When we look at this chart, what we're seeing here is that there was an altcoin bull market here. This was in March to July of 2017. But there were bull and bear markets, of course, before that made some big differences, and they happened to do with the way Bitcoin is going up. And I'm going to actually pull back the chart. I'm going to go back further than when this began, but I'll just walk through this quickly. We all know that this is how it happened, where from March till July of 2017, we had this massive bull market. And then from August all the way till December, all of the alts got crushed. Bitcoin was going up and up and up and up, and all the alts were gaining in US dollar value, but they were going down against Bitcoin. Their Bitcoin value was going down, 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 because Bitcoin was going up so fast. So we had an altcoin bear market through that whole time. But in the middle of December till the middle of January, for about maybe a 4 to 6 week period, it was like a cork released from underneath the water. It just sprung right back up. All of the alts had been squished down for so long, all sorts of money poured into them, and they sprung right back up fast. Then, as we know, we had a bear market all the way through from February of 2018 until about April and May. We had a little wee bull market. Everybody was excited because this was the time of the bull market from 2017. So in 2018, it almost came to be just because everybody's expectation. But the market forces took over. This bottom formation didn't last that long, and we came into a bunch of top formations, and we're going to be watching for those here in our current bull market, because if you weren't watching for them, then you turned into a bag holder, like many people did through the rest of this altcoin bear market from May all the way through July, August. We know that there was a low in August, and then there was a low in September, there was a low in October, there was a low in November, and then it broke to significantly lower lows in the middle of November. So there was a long, slow decline all the way along there. Bitcoin has gone down by 80-some%, and many of the alts have gone down by 80% and greater compared to the price of Bitcoin. So they've gone down huge, and we're down at these fantastic bottom low levels. So there's a recap of what has happened, and that brings us back to two things. First of all, where we were back in 2015. What am I looking at? 1 week views. So I'll go to the 1 day bars and zoom this back again. So here we are. We can recognize that big run in March to July 2017. It was huge. Big downtrend all the way through till December of 2017. And like a cork, we sprung back up here. We can see this in the BitShares prices. Prices came down. We had a little bit of a run up here from March till April, and then continuing on the downtrend all the way along, right? And we can go back to old historical prices, back to the last time Bitcoin had a parabolic move up, came down, crashed, and we're in this. Many people are calling this analogy very similar. So look what happened with altcoins and Bitcoin at this time. Bitcoin came up a little bit, but it stayed sideways, and altcoins sort of moved along with Bitcoin, but really fell off from Bitcoin. Altcoins lost power against Bitcoin. Lost power. And then in September of 2015, the prices started to go. They started to go higher. And look at what the alts are doing. Exactly opposite. They are going down, down, down. We go into a big bear market for the altcoins all the way through here in 2016. Look at this, 2015 down, little wee tick up, and then down for the next whole year. And it went down further into 2017. These were tough days of trading. There was some profits to be made, and then a lot of sitting and waiting as these bottom formations were just not showing up. It just kept going down, 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 down. Finally, we bottomed here March of 2017. And this was one of the first times that altcoins were going up as Bitcoin was going up. Altcoins are going up and Bitcoin's going up, rather than, you can see here, Bitcoin's going up, altcoins are going down. Then it turned around right here. We saw the change, and we're going to be watching for that change now, because we're in a similar situation where altcoin and Bitcoin are reacting together. When Bitcoin goes stronger, altcoins go stronger. So the altcoins are growing double strength, right? Bitcoin is measured against US dollar. Altcoins are measured against Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going up against US dollar. Altcoins are going up against Bitcoin. So they're going double up against the US dollar in their market capitalization in this phase. So there will be a time where that stops. And I do believe, I'll go back to the 1 year view. And this is where we finally get to the prediction part of it. So this is all good theory. It's all good background. But what does that mean for now? Well, for now, I think that this is going to consolidate. We're going to be hitting, like I said, these kind of levels. It's going to make a top, and then it's going to do a huge drop down. And I always get messed up doing this because I have to stretch the chart. It's going to be doing a huge drop down, and then a big run back up, consolidate, and up on its bull run. So during this period, let me change over to a different color. Altcoins will go up with Bitcoin. Altcoins will go down with Bitcoin here, and they'll recover, but then we're going to split paths. Altcoins are going to get squished down again as Bitcoin starts to go up. And I don't know how much. It's going to be different this time. They're not going to get squished the same, because there's so many more money gateways into altcoins rather than always money into Bitcoin than Bitcoin into altcoins. There's a lot more venues directly into the altcoins now. So we'll be watching for this exact moment right there when that split happens. And it's not easy to see. Usually I'm a week late in seeing it. It happens and you think it is, but you don't get real verification for about a week afterwards. If I'm good at it, because in 2017 I didn't recognize it for much longer, and it cost me, this is what I call my $500,000 mistake. It really cost a lot of money. It was a bad mistake, and it was such a simple oversight too. So this time we're not going to make that mistake. Pen noob. No, I haven't done nano yet. Do you know when Facebook Bitcoin will hit the market? Nope. No idea. I'm sure it'll be listed on Binance, and it'll be great fury about it. And I'll probably put in 20 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever, right off the start, just as a long-term hold. But then I'll be watching for top formations, consolidations, and I hope it's traded on BitMEX so that we can do some shorting on it when it does run up. That would be awesome. Nano. We'll go over to Binance. Put on BTC as our filter. Scroll down to Nano. Got to know your alphabet upside down and backwards. Nano is looking familiar. The chart pattern is one of 4 or 5 main chart patterns that are consolidating right now that are the biggest buy signals. There are 4 or 5 main patterns, probably 4, that are lining up. And this big, long consolidating triangle is one of them. And it's not our classic 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's a different consolidation. And it works well for this kind of the same reason the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation works well, in that it brings your signal down to a very narrow channel. It brings your risk to reward ratio down to a very narrow decision point, this range right here. So if it breaks down below that range, you know it's a sell. If it breaks above that range, it's a buy. And you can have your stop loss below the range so that you have this very small space where you're taking risk. And once it breaks up above, you put your stop loss above and you're all good. It's a nice consolidation. And overall, the project is looking pretty good, but some of the other projects are more, I like them better just by looking at the chart because of the volume pattern that is here, but it is not here. We're getting spikes of it, but not enough of the big spikes to say that something's rumbling and this is really going to take off. It could, but it's not really jumping out at me. Even the RSI isn't diverging massively off of this like flat bottom here, and the divergence in the RSI is like, oh yeah, just tagging along and not diverging, not showing strength coming into the market underneath everything. Altcoin comparison is awesome. Time for hitting the like button now. Yes, indeed. If you guys, 18 people watching, 9 likes. So I'm hoping that these are going to be 17 people out of these 17 watching now. There's going to be 16 people out of these 17 are going to be the ones that make profits. I want to go back as a quick reminder to the contest. I started up another contest. I joined a different contest inside of Altcoin Fantasy. And I was surprised because there was like 5,000 people in the contest and there were only 500 people that were profitable. 500 people that took that $10,000 and grew it a little bit above the $10,000. Of 4,500 people were not profitable. So it really works out that only 10% of the people actually make money when they're trading. And it can't be can't be the way it has to be, that 90% must lose money. That must be that there's a way to do it. There's a systematic way. There's a formula to follow, a very specific plan that has rules as to when yes and no to reduce risk and to make profits when the money is actually moving your way. So I'm wanting all of you guys to be taking this trading contest. Get in there. I'm super excited to be sponsoring this with these prizes, because I'm super keen to see everybody take this trading plan and practice it. Make it work for you. Once you make it work for you, it changes your subconscious thinking and feeling about money, because you've just proven to that doubting part of yourself that you really can make money work for you. Money works for you. You don't work for money. Money works for you. So as soon as you get some money and you get into your hand, you're not going to go to Starbucks and buy the wicked latte there. You're going to put that into a cryptocurrency and you're going to make that money work for you. Instead of losing your retirement because of the Starbucks factor of just $20 a week on coffee, it's just 20 bucks. $20 a week really could turn into $1 million retirement for you. So by learning this and making these chart patterns work for you, you start to see that every dollar that comes into your possession has a whole new power. It can really grow into something incredible with these cryptocurrencies. So I'm super keen to have you guys get in there, jump into this contest. And let's do it. So hit that like button. Oh, we're rocking it now. I love it. That's great. Great to have you guys along. This is an important project for me because I really want to have that kind of success as well. I'm proving to myself every day I do these shows that money works for me. I'm watching it. I'm making it work for me. I'm observing it. I see it growing. We're rocking. Being a week late is not really that bad. No, it isn't. The way I trade, you could be a couple days this way or that way, and you just throw the trade on, and you were holding it for such a long time that really to be, let's just take this chart here as an example. If we were to get in, I'll use this line, here or here, what's the difference when prices come up to there? It's such a small thing that paying attention to this or that, like it's the entire chart formation. It's our whole trade formation here, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in our breakout. If you got anywhere in there, you're good. No worries. So it's a relaxed trading system. You really can check it one time a day and make all the decisions you need. It is that simple. Great to have you guys here. I love it. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. I appreciate the new people who are subscribing. We've got this alerts thing on the channel that if you subscribe while we're live, it usually does a song and dance on the screen, makes some music. Usually startles the daylights out of me. And that'll wrap it up for today. Let's go back to our bull market watch and look at the bull. Look at the bull. We can measure it. We can see it day by day. We can see exactly how bull we are. I love it. It's fantastic. Now for watching Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin and Stellar all warm up and take off here this evening, that would make my day. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. And thank you for sharing this time with me. I hope it turns into profit for all of us. All the best, and bye for now. Where's the stop button?